All right, so let's have a look underneath and see if we stopped the drippage yet. Oh, just minor. Oh, minor plip-plops. Hardly anything. I might just leave her a couple more seconds, and then we can go from there. But we are at the low point. That's a nice thing is that the sump is shaped like it slopes forward, you know. So all the crap comes down to the front right by the drain plug, which is really cool. Okay, and also because the van is when I used to use the van for work, and before she retired from the building, the gardening work, I got some sort of heavy duty springs. This jacked the back of the van up a bit, so she sort of leans forward like a bit of a mean hot rod, apart from all the holes and the rust, if you know what I mean, and the really sluggish engine. I think they were like 90 some odd horsepower when they were new, but I expect old Vera's probably topping out at about 25-30 horsepower. It certainly feels like it when we go uphill anyway. Good. All right, so we're going to grab the oil and we're going to put the drain plug back in. Oh, I know I was going to say also, there's a drain plug and there's the copper washer on the top there, which sort of looks all right anyway. But if I can find it, wrapped up somewhere. I nearly threw this out because I thought, oh, it's just like a delivery note type thing. But actually in here, get your hand, get in there. In there somewhere, and I'm sure it's still in there. There. Haha. New drain plug washer. Nifty, eh? So we're going to pop that one in when we put the new drain plug. When we put the drain plug back in, it's going to go back in with the new washer. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll leave the drain plug on there for a minute. Okay, let's have a look at the oil they sent us. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. Just completely lose everything straight away. Okay, so let's have a look at the oil they sent us. This is the oil that comes with a pack. Yeah. I ain't got a clue what any of that's about, but I'm sure it's the right one, so we're going to fire that in there. And as I said, she takes 5 litres, so cool, no measuring required. Just bump the whole tin in. That's 4 litres for the engine and 1 litre to fill that up. Okie dokie, as you can see how much has come out of it. That's just come out the oil filter when I took it out. All right, guys. So we're gonna get the drain plug back in there, which is pretty boring. Screw drain plug in, tighten it up. I'm not gonna wrench on it too much because I'm gonna be the next guy changing the oil anyway. So I'm gonna be considerate. Also, you know, there's no need to strip the threads when you put this on with tightness. It's on a rubber mount in there anyway. Firm, hand tight, firm is enough, because it'll seize itself on there and be just as hard to get off anyway. So you don't need to kill it. All right, I'm certainly not going to do that. It's not going to come off. All right, good. So let's get organised and get that drain plug back in. Okay, good. I can show you now. Look. So it's located. It just goes on it's like a massive big. It's like a bolt with a hole down the end of it. And you take her up, screw her against this. That's just like a flat plate, all right. And the rubber seal goes against that flat plate. Okay, I can feel the seal binding, so I'm going to just tweak him up there. And I'm going to say that's tight enough. Okay, that's certainly tight enough. Okay. We don't need to go any more, all right? The rubber's squashed. I can feel that's just about as much as my wrist will take, and I think we're going to leave it at that, and that's cool. So oil filter on. Right, we're going to just put the plug back in there. Where are you? Plug there with new thing on it. Tidy. Okay, a tiny bit of drippage there, but you know what? In the scheme of things and the age of the motor. Now, we're going to try and get this one back in here. The comedy bit is when it slips out of my hand and goes into the really stinking horrible oil. Got her first time. Let's do her up. Right, we got him pinched tight now, and we can carefully pull the oil can out so we don't get a face full of it. There it is. Okay, let's get out. I'm thinking of investing in a. See? Good. 5 gallon container, 5 gallons of oil, 5 gallons, 5 litres. Should fit, eh? Alright. I'm sort of thinking of getting myself a nice oil changing thing at some point. Well, within the next 20,000 miles, let's put it like that, or whatever it is. Okay, let's get under there, because I didn't tighten it up, did I? And we want her tight. I could have put her up on some ramps and stuff, but hey, you know, just too damn lazy today. I've been working this morning and I'm just gonna tweak on her a bit there. Oh, I think that's the correct torquage. I'll whack the torque. I got a little torque wrench. I'll whack that on there just now with a. It's a 19mm bit, so I'll whack that on there. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I'll whack that 19mm bit on there, and then we'll put the torque on him and click clunk. So it's what it says in the manual. All right, but you know what? You can sort of feel it, can't you? You know, don't snap the bolt off in the sump. That's the key, isn't it? All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to plop the oil in her. Okay, so let's get myself organised. We're getting on with it now quite nicely. Okay, pretty obvious. Oil goes in that big hole there, and you know that's the oil filler thing, because the filler cap, which I put down somewhere and can't find, has got a big oil can sign on the top of it to say, ah, there it is. Oil. So that's where he goes. Not in screen wash or header tank, none of them, or braking, don't put it in there. It's got to go in that one there. The one's on top of the engine, so that's pretty easy, eh? Okay, we're wanging the oil in it now. I'm just going to take it nice instead. I've got this nice little funnel here. I hate spilling it all over the engine. Oh, I'm just tipping it with one hand so you can see it, so I'm going to just put the camera down a minute so I can hold this tin with both hands, because of my great age, my wrists are really aching now, all the arms vibrating. I'm feeling the burn, Okay, let's just, yeah. Can wedged in against my rib so I can use the one hand. See, it goes in easy enough, but you know, just take your time, because there's nothing worse than when it all runs all over the engine. There's enough oil on this engine as it is, it doesn't need any more. Right, well, this is like, it's like watching paint dry, isn't it, a bit? So we're just gonna say the oil's going in, and then magically any second it'll all be in there. Oh, last bit going in now, guys. There we go. You know, didn't take too long. Obviously it's the next day, you know, we're finishing the tin off on the next day, but you know, it didn't take too long. There we go, it's all in there. We're going to say that's it. Okay, this is a torque wrench. I set it at 22 pounds. It's got to just turn that on the end, and when he reaches the correct torquage, it just clunk click, and then you know it's right. So I always clunk click him twice just to make sure. So that's all correct and at the right setting, so you know, we're not turning the nut off sort of thing just for the sake of it. Okay, final job I'm going to do now is I've got a nice empty can here. I'm going to get a funnel and all that black horrible gooey stuff, because it's going to go into that can, and that will go down to the recycling centre, and they do whatever with it, whatever they do. I'm not going to do that on the drive. I'll find a nice dirt patch to put it on just in case it spills everywhere, and then that's all done. I'll clean me containers out. I've got some pretty good degreaser. Chuck the kit away. Portable workshop floor back in the shed, and we should be good to go, I think. You know, no reason at all why it shouldn't just get going. Let's try and let's come around here. Get the key. Check it's out of gear. Put the warmer on. Oh, radio's going as well. Oh. Starts really well. Always been a good starter, apart from the time when there was an electronic problem, and we figured it out though. Okay, there she goes, it's all done. Filters changed, new glub in the top, everything's done up tight underneath. Just trying to put the kit away, and then I'm going to go and get myself a bit of tea. Lovely. Okay, see you next time.